can I get each of you to introduce yourselves and tell us a little about your involvement with the Pathology Outreach Program?
Hi, everyone. My name is Adil Ahmed. I'm an assistant professor of pathology at Rush University Medical Center in Chicago. I am the founder of POP. I started the program when I was a resident at Loyola. And we decided to reach out to high school students to advocate about the pathology profession, and not just pathology profession, but also laboratory medicine professions that involve non-MD professionals. On to you, Casey.
All right. Hi, everyone. So my name is Casey Shuko. I'm a first-year transitional year resident at a small program in Southeast Michigan called Medica Monroe Regional Hospital. I'm applying for a pathology residency this semester cycle, and I started getting involved with the program after reaching out to Adil over Twitter way back in the springtime. He posted something about POP. I said to them, this is a cool initiative. Let's do it. I want to get involved. And ever since then, we've kind of had the ball rolling with bringing POP out to Michigan and trying to expand it throughout other parts of the U.S.
Hi, my name is Sophia Martinez Whitman. I'm currently a freshman at Fordham University in the Bronx, New York. I'm currently a chem major, and I'm really interested in pathology. So when Adil came to my health art class and gave a little POP presentation, I knew I wanted to get involved to definitely help out in whatever way I could.
I'm Caitlin McKinley. I'm an undergraduate student at Loyola University of Chicago. I became interested in pathology from high school, and then when Adil came to my class, I wanted to get involved and help out, and I thought it was a good way to get to learn more about it.
That's great. Thank you. So tell us a little bit about your experience with POP.
So I'll start. It's been a really successful experience, at least on my part. I started the program in 2018, and we are still doing, and high schools are still inviting us and letting us do this. So I think that's also another positive feedback. We have students getting involved in it, like Sophia and Caitlin, they both are here talking about it. So I think that's from the students' part that they are liking the program as well. Is going to different states. When I started, it was just in Chicago area. So now Casey took over in Michigan, and some of his colleagues also went to other high schools. So it's growing and it's expanding. So that's good on my part. I also get feedback from the students. We have a pre and post survey for the students to fill out, and most of the things are encouraging, and they are brutally honest, which I kind of like, so we can improve the program. I think most of the feedback is important in terms of the other similar programs or whoever want to do this. The feedback says that they want it. So I think that's important, and that encourages us to continue the program, to continue the momentum in our program and expand the program. That kind of keeps me motivated to do it every year.
Yeah, absolutely. So like Adil said, I got a chance to bring POP back to my hometown of Saline, Michigan, which is pretty close to Ann Arbor. And, I think one of the things that I've realized with this program, it's, whenever we get a chance to do stuff with high school students, college students, ask them, hey, what do you know about pathology? The responses they're interesting. You have this mix of, I think, the students who say, yeah, I remember CSI, New York, or all these different shows that it's not exactly what pathology is, but that's kind of what the perception is amongst those who do know pathology. But once after going through the presentation, at least when I did back down in Saline, it was I think it really opened a lot of students' eyes up, and I found my way into path, or my path to path, so to speak, earlier this spring, my eyes continue to get opened up every day. So I think having an initiative like this, where you can take this to any place, anywhere, talk about pathology, It's overall just have had wonderful, I think, feedback. But I was totally right. Real honesty sometimes, but hey, it's all good though. It's part of the process.
Yeah, so like I said before, I had personally had the POP experience when Adele came in and gave the presentation in my health occupations class last year. And I'd previously been interested in pathology during the COVID-19 pandemic, when I began looking into the field. And when Adele came in and gave the presentation, I realized how much really goes into the profession. And I realized that there's so much more in pathology than I had previously imagined. So personally, I felt that POP is really beneficial in learning a lot about the pathology field and what it has to offer. And even getting started working with the team and like doing projects, I've learned so much more about pathology as well.
Yeah, I knew a lot about, I had my own like passion for a few years before, but it was the first time hearing POP about like the realism of the career and just different ways to get in it and involved, and being involved on the program and working with the team. I feel like I opened so many doors for me, like creating the peer edit, and I even got to go to one of the conferences. So it's just a really good experience of like learning about the medical field and specifically pathology and getting more involved. And so I think it just helps like other students and just becomes more real for them and gets them more involved in different areas of the field.
And if I can add just one more sentence. In these past 5 years, like many students are coming on to college now, and at least like we have over 300 students that have attended the POP session. So out of those, 2 I know for sure are at least applying for pathology.
That's excellent.
So that's our small contribution to the field.
That's great. Thank you. So maybe one more for the organizers here. How can other pathologists and lab medicine professionals get involved with POP?
So we are happy. We are an open program. We don't have any umbrella organization on us, so no restrictions. So you can contact us. We'll provide you the content. If you want to change it, you are welcome to change it and tailor it according to your student, according to your needs. We'll help you. I mean, reaching out to high school, I think that's the most difficult part, to get the school on board. So I think you should start with your family and friends. If anybody from your family, your friends, like they are going to they are high school students, their kids are high school students, so you can contact them and have their high school invite you. Otherwise, you can also contact your local high school, like science teacher, career teacher, and they can if they respond positively, you can go there. And it's a difficult process. You might have to send like 20, 30 emails and only 2 or 3 might respond in reality. So be ready for that, but don't lose motivation. And Casey would tell you his experience, like recently, that how he contacted and how he expanded. He asked his colleagues to go to their high schools as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the things that's really helped, I think my involvement in getting others, involved is social media. And I think in regards to trying to reach out to, Adele, myself, or, Kaylin or Sophia, as they, may or may not build up their social media accounts in the coming months, weeks, years, whatever. But it's like Twitter, for example, is how I got connected to Otto. And Twitter specifically, is kind of, other students who have been getting involved in bringing POP up to their high schools. That's how they've gotten connected to me, connected with Otto, so I think there is a lot of positive or good vibes, as we like to say, within social media use and how to like get involved and promote the field and promote what you're doing with POP and how to continue to build those connections and network. Because even that, a lot of high schools are even on social media. I know my old high school's on social media too. So that's another route you could possibly go with in terms of trying to bring POP out to a high school that may be interested in hosting a session.
What about from the other side then? How can students who are interested in lab and pathology careers get involved with POP?
I think just like responding to to the presentation, getting on Path Twitter. I know after the conference, I got on Twitter and I got it kind of involved, and that was kind of cool. But I think like when you're just starting, just to kind of like research pathology and get an idea of like the career itself. And then if your career does have POP, then be involved in it, like respond to the survey. And I asked Adele or asked Casey, because I mean they were very welcoming when we went out to them and asked them. So I think just try and do your best to speak up and just share, like spread your interests out besides to different medical specialties.
Yeah, and I know Adele and Casey are always like looking to expand POP. So if you ever like want to learn more about it, you can always just reach out to them, and they'll definitely respond positively with that.
That's great. Thank you so much. So is there anything else that you'd like to mention or highlight about POP or pathology outreach in general?
So many people would think that we are trying to recruit high school students to pathology. I mean, that might be partly true, but I think we all know that pathology is a hidden specialty, like even for medical students. And someone asked, like, why not go to medical students and ask and give them this presentation? I would say for sure most welcome. But we all know that catering to medical students or like doing a session like this to medical students have to go through layers of organizational and admin requirements. So that might not be easy. Also, medical students, unfortunately, may be least interested to, or maybe less enthusiastic about hearing about pathology. I think medical students should be brought into the lab to fulfill that gap. But in high school students, I believe a change in grassroots level, and I think that's what we are doing. And it's not just about getting students to the field, but also increasing their knowledge. Everybody is a consumer of medicine and pathology and laboratory professions. So at the end of the day, it's about that they know that we exist, and our role is very important in patient care. And that's the main purpose of this program.
Yeah, to kind of piggyback off that too, it's not just pathologists that we talk about in the sessions. It's different aspects within laboratory medicine and different career paths within laboratory medicine, from pathology assistants to cell technicians, histotechnicians, you name it. We kind of touch on different aspects of the lab because, we've all seen, post COVID pandemic, work shortages everywhere, and the lab is one of those places, especially. So I think that's one misconception that hopefully we can kind of bring to light is that it's not just pathology. I mean, we'd love to have more pathologists, absolutely, but like Adele said, it's all about just getting the information out there. Majority of high school students, when senior year comes around, they start to think, oh man, what am I going to do after this? I've definitely been there myself, but it really is a population to where get the information out to them. You see Sophia and Caitlin are here. You see what the sessions, I think done for them and their perspectives of pathology and their efforts to try to, keep the good vibes, the good times rolling, so to speak. I think with this initiative.
I think just to piggyback off that, like I think hearing it in high school just gives students more comfort, especially those already considering going in the medical field. Even if you reach out to kids who aren't like set on the medical field, just reaching out, knowing that you have different career paths that might think it's like be surprised about how it's easier to get in. It's not always like the long year of med school. So I think it's just reaching out there and giving out different opportunities for students, especially at a time when they're trying to figure out the rest of their lives. It just helps them.
Yeah, and like kind of going off of that as well, I know like when I did my own research, a lot of the stuff on the internet can be really, really confusing and difficult to understand. So having this presentation is really helpful because it really boils it down to like a really just generalization of the field, and it makes it a lot less scary.
That's great. Thank you all so much for being here and for introducing POP to us today.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
Yes, thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you so much.